Welcome back to Pyramid, guys. It's finally time for me to give you guys a little bit of an update on where we are with our plans for the Gen 4 MT-09. You may have seen a few months ago we did an introduction video sort of explaining our plans, what ideas we had, what we were going to do. It's been about 3 months since I did that introduction video. We've got a few products that are already on the market, and we've also got a few that are still in the prototype stage, which I will be showing you today. I've got a bunch of 3D printed prototypes to show you, and just in general give you a bit of an update on where we are with all of our MT-09 Gen 4 products. So I'll start off by showing you some of the prototypes we've got for the seat cowl, the fly screen, the front infill panels and the rear infill panels that we are doing for the bike, and then I'll quickly go through the accessories that we've already finished and are available now. Right, so the first thing I can show you is our prototype seat cowl. Now, we get our prototypes 3D printed, so this is just a 3D printed material at the moment. Our finished seat cowl will probably be made out of ABS, so the texture might look a bit different, but the shape and the overall design is going to be the same. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of a sporty design. It may be hard to get a bit of an idea of the design in this 3D printed material. I'll try and flash some close images and videos on screen so you can see exactly what it looks like. Obviously, we get prototype versions so we can check the trim line, so we can check that it actually looks good. We were fairly happy with this, so the finished product will look like this. There are going to be some slight alterations to the trim around here, but nothing that's going to change the look of it. So our pyramid seat cowl for the MT-09 will look like this, and we will also have painted versions available as well for all of the colour schemes that the MT-09 is available in. Won't be too long till this is available, as once it's past the prototype stage we can then sort out the tooling and then get some finished products in stock. And the way this seat cowl will fit is using 4 aluminium tabs that will be bonded to the rear of the seat cowl, as you can see, and then you just simply bend them into place and grip them around the pillion seat, and that is how the Pyramid MT-09 seat cowl is going to fit. Stay tuned for that. The next prototype to show you is the fly screen. Now, if you've kept up to date on our social medias, especially Facebook, you'll see that we actually had 3 or 4 different versions of the fly screen that we wanted to kind of pick from. Our designer did find it quite difficult to choose a design for what we wanted the fly screen to look like. So we put out a poll, we got several different prototypes, took a load of pictures, took a load of videos, put them all over the forums, and this ended up being the winner. Most people voted for this, the majority preferred this fly screen, so this is the fly screen that we have picked and will be produced. Again, it's just 3D printed at the moment, so don't let the texture fool you. You might see the bracket arrangement here. I'll just quickly go take the fly screen off so you can see how this is going to fit. You'll see that we've managed to make the fly screen fit securely without there being any need for any bolts on the actual fly screen itself. The only 2 bolts that are actually exposed are this one and then the one on the other side. So now I've taken these 2 bolts out, you can get a bit of an idea of how it fits. So you'll attach a bracket to the back of your clocks that's going to look like this, and then you will attach the other bracket to the back of the fly screen, and then there's 2 little hooks here which hook into these slots. Attach it using these 2 bolts to the side of your clocks, and then it's nice and secure. Nice clean mounting method, super easy to do. Obviously these brackets will be powder coated in a nice textured matte black for the finished products. Again, just a prototype, but that is pretty much what it's going to look like. Again, we'll have a plastic matte black version along with the painted versions as well. The third prototype we've got available to show you is the front infill panel. We're doing 2 different sets of infill panels for this bike. We're going to have one at the front and then one at the back here. The one on the front is going to look something like this. Again, it's just 3D printed at the moment, but that will sit around here. The main mounting point is this here, where you have this OEM bolt. I believe we're going to have to provide a bolt as the OEM bolts aren't long enough. So it will mount just there, and then it will also mount here with a bracket to here. I don't have the brackets here to show you, but there will be a bracket attaching from here to the rear side of this bolt here to allow the infill panel to sit quite nicely there. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Just fills this area of the bike quite nicely. Again, the usual, it will be made out of ABS in the matte black variant, and then we'll also paint some in all the colour schemes as well. So we'll have a Midnight Cyan, Tech Black, SP, Icon Blue, all the colour schemes that the MT-09 is available in. So that's the prototype at the moment. Again, I'll flash some images and videos on screen of what we have properly fitted. The finished product is pretty much going to look like this. There are some slight alterations to make to the trim, but nothing that's going to affect the look of it. So that's what the front infill panel looks like. Let me just go and get the rear infill panel now. Oh, and obviously they'll be sold in a pair. So that's this side, this is the other side. I'll not bother showing you it as it's pretty much symmetrical. Rear infill panel is the last prototype I've got to show you here today, and this is what it's going to look like. Now, out of all the prototypes I've showed you today, this one is probably going to have the most changes. This isn't absolutely final. There are a few trim adjustments and we might soften up some of the curbs to make it suit the bike a bit more, but it's going to be fairly similar to that. So it'll attach to the bike using the 2 bolts that are located under the seat, and for this bottom mounting point there will be a bracket to accompany that as well. Unfortunately I don't have the brackets here to show you, but that is what the actual piece itself will look like. Again, we need to alter the trim, especially up here slightly, and we might soften some of these curbs to make it a bit softer and less sort of aggressive, I suppose you could say. Well, that fills this big hideous gap on the MT-09 quite nicely. Again, it'll be available just like all the other things in colour, in paint match schemes and matte black and all that jazz. Obviously as a pair as well, so this one's for the other side. So, well, that is where we're at with the infill panels, and yeah, I think the finished products are going to look fairly similar to all the prototypes I've shown you today. Because they are at the prototype stage, that means they are nearly done. Over the course of August, you'll definitely see all of these products start to trickle through into our pipeline. So yeah, we're making good progress. Those are all of the prototypes that I have to show you. Now, we obviously have released products for this bike already that have already been finished. I'll quickly show you them in a second. First, I'm going to tease the product that we're making for this MT-09 that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's a belly pan. We are making a belly pan for this bike, but we've got ideas for this belly pan. We want it to be relatively large. If I've got any photos or images that I can show you, I will pop them on screen of what the belly pan current concepts look like. We haven't got any prototypes or anything at this stage, but if there's anything I can show you, I'll pop it all on screen. So stay tuned for more information on the belly pan. Once I've got a prototype, I'll do another little update video. But yeah, in terms of bodywork, you've pretty much seen everything now. Let me now show you all of the products that are out now, such as the rear hugger, the handguards, the tail tidy, and all them stuff. We have a full rear hugger. This is actually from the previous MT-09. Turns out they haven't changed the swing arm, so it still fits the Gen 4 MT-09. So this is no different to our previous hugger for the Gen 3 MT-09. Fits exactly the same way. Obviously, this is the matte black version. This isn't a prototype. This is a completely finished version in matte black. We do already have paint matched versions available as well in tech black, icon blue, and SP. Obviously, the MT-09 also comes in midnight cyan, like the colour we have here. Because that colour scheme is new to the Gen 4 MT-09, we haven't got any painted already in that colour. So at the moment, you can buy this hugger for the Gen 4 MT-09 in matte black. The 3 colour schemes I just said, midnight cyan is to come next. Stay tuned for that. We've got an Extenda fender and an Extenda fender extra. These are obviously extensions for your front guard. The Extenda fender, the normal one, just uses sticky pads or push rivets, while the Extenda fender extra has brackets that attaches to the side of the extra to the caliper bolts, which makes it more secure and allows us to have the extension even longer. So we've got an Extenda fender and an Extenda fender extra available for this bike. Tail tidy, obviously all OEM tail tidies look absolutely hideous nowadays and are unnecessarily big. We've got a tail tidy available to tidy up the rear end of the MT-09. Comes with a number plate light and all the things you need to fit standard indicators or aftermarket indicators, depending on what you've got. You might have noticed in the clips earlier, we've obviously got handguards fitted to this bike. These are a pyramid product. They obviously come as a pair. They include a pair of powder coated matte black brackets that attach from the handguards to the bottom of the mirrors. So you can add handguards to the list of products we have finished for this bike. And last but not least, we've got a hugger extension. If you don't fancy a full rear hugger, like I showed you just a few minutes ago, we do an extension for the OEM hugger. That's available right now for the Gen 4 MT-09. And that's it, I think. I don't think there's anything that I haven't mentioned. I've shown you all the prototypes, all of the products that we've already done and released. And yeah, that's where we are with our MT-09 range of products. As always, stay tuned on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for all of the updates on when they're coming through. We're not a massive team here at Pyramid, and we've obviously got several bikes that we're working on at any given time. So we're not always just focusing on one bike, but we're getting there, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of progress throughout the month of August. Thank you for watching, guys. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, and we'll see you all later.